One sec. Here we go. Good evening, friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Look who's here. It is Suzi Gemini. Suzi Gemini is in the house. Yay. Thank you so much for being here, Suzi. I'm so happy to meet you and have you on the channel. I'm super excited.
I'm very honored that Kelly, you asked me.
You're so sweet.
Because you're the type of person that I feel very comfortable with. Just the vibe. So thank you.
You're very welcome, my friend. So, I want to say hi to everyone in the chat.
Sure.
And of course, thank you to Suzi for coming. And I do want to say, I know right now there's some seriously heavy energy happening, and we're going to touch on that in a few moments. But I have three cards that I like, three decks that I pulled out. One being my color cards. Whoops, sorry. Helps if I put them in front of the camera. My color cards, which I love to pull those color cards because it's very energy kind of based. I have the Empath Empowerment deck, which is like a lovely message as to what we could do, right? What we could work on, how we can help ourselves. And then I have my Angel. Sorry, I don't remember the name. It's a new deck. My Angel Quest Oracle. And so I want to pull three cards because I have been feeling it. I honestly feel like I haven't slept in a week and I've done nothing but sleep. I am absolutely knackered, friends. So I know I'm not the only one feeling it. I know many people are feeling it. And so I just thought that I would pull some cards. We'll start with this lovely message, and then we will get into what Suzi is here to talk about. So hi to my husband, obviously. Kelmar is in the house. Jackie's here. She walks in beauty. Welcome, my friend. Hi, Anna Banana. Doris Smith is here. Scott Scorpio Moon is here. Hello. Vana Intuitive. Hi, everybody. You guys are so sweet for being here. Thank you so much. If everyone is not already subscribed to Suzi Gemini, her link is in the description box below, and I'm sure one of the mods will stick it into the chat. Please do show our new friend some love. She is wonderful. She has amazing energy, and I mean, she's got the most gorgeous smile. So we love that. Sharon Sipe is in the house. Cartomancy Mesquite is here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. All right, now let me pull a couple of these cards, and then we'll get Suzi to introduce herself and talk to us about all things astrology and all things that are exciting and all things that we need to know. All right, we're going to start off with our color cards. Ooh, look at that. Love it. We have this, I mean, what a way to start, friends. This gorgeous green, which is revitalize your nervous system. Okay? So we all know that going out in nature is so beneficial for so many reasons. There really is no excuse at this moment in time because for most of us, we're experiencing, nicer weather. We'll just call it that, nicer weather. Here it's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, but, nothing that an umbrella can't cure, right? So maybe go out in nature, take a few moments to stop, smell the roses, grab the bark of the tree, do a little bit of grounding, right? Maybe sit outside and pretend you're a sunflower. My great analogy of a sunflower that stands firmly planted in the ground and stands tall, lifts its head up to the sun and just soaks all that power and all that love in. Let it flow through you, put your hands up and send it right back out into the universe. Be a sunflower. Wow. This is a cool card. So we've got experience the passion of fire. Now, literally, did I not just say put your hands up to the universe? That's kind of cool. This message says, reignite your life force by gazing into a cozy fire. Recharging in the sunlight. Friends, you can't make that stuff up. Literally, that's what it says. Or lighting a candle. Allow fire to spark your vision and vitality. So nurture your revitalize your nervous system. Experience the passion of fire. And now we're going to pull. Hi, Greeter. How you doing, love? We're going to pull from our angel deck, and then we're going to get started. I just sort of felt this wasn't what I was going to do, but I just sort of felt that it was important to sort of put this message out there because I'm feeling it. So Scott Scorpio Moon says, Susie, you look stunning. And I agree. Does she not look beautiful?
Thank you, Scott.
All right. There's no better message than this, my friends. Surrendering to spirit. With a master number of 22 on it, by the way.
That's interesting.
Right? Surrendering to spirit, hand your situation over to the divine and let go of your attachment to the outcome. So we've got, just to recap, we've got green, which is rejuvenate your nervous system. So going out into nature to allow ourselves to just be, right? Using the analogy of the sunflower, experiencing the passion of fire, allowing our life force to be reignited, if you will, by recharging in the sunlight or the lighting of a candle or a cozy fire. And then, of course, surrendering to spirit. Just beautiful. So I hope that helps everybody. And thank you for allowing me, Susie, to sort of do a little sidetrack there. That wasn't planned. It was just one of those things I felt compelled to do. Hi, Andrea. All right. So, friends, this is Susie Gemini. For those of you that just joined, Susie Gemini is all about astrology. And I am an astrology junkie. I don't understand any of it. So I am so happy that you're here to help us. So the floor is yours, my friend. Tell us about Susie Gemini. Tell us everything that we need to know.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly. Well, some of you know I'm Susie Gemini, or just call me Susie. I started my astrology channel not as a master astrologer. I'm a student astrologer. But just before Kelly and I came on, we were talking about astrology. And I was telling her, the more I study, the more astrology reveals herself to me. I learn something every day about myself. I learn about why things have happened in my life and where I need to go, you know? And I know astrology can be a mixed subject. Some people view it as some sort of fraudulent science. I actually believe after thousands of years, there's something to it. So much, in fact, and this is where I'm going to kind of do my conspiracy theory stuff, is astrology, a lot of people don't know, was illegal in the United States of America to 1988.
Wow.
There were women and men who were hauled off and charged with felony.
Wow, and that's so interesting, Susie.
Or they had to hide in secret. Wow. So why are they so concerned? This is my opinion. If astrology doesn't work, and they like to smear it, National Enquirer. Nothing against anyone who reads National Enquirer. Right. People think about the sun sign, or is so and so going to call me? But there's so much more to it. Yes, you can kind of get a general feel what might happen, and that's mundane. But for me, the reason I use it is it's unveiling my soul and my life's purpose. So.
Beautifully said. And that's super interesting. Lots of people in the chat are saying that they had no idea. And thank you, Greeter, for subscribing to Susie Gemini. Very sweet of you, my dear. Hi, Pierrette. Yeah, I had no idea. You've got all of our attention now, Susie. Now what are you going to tell us?
You remember, and this isn't anything about politics or what candidate or what, but Ronald Reagan, I'm old enough, I'm going to be 50. When I was a little girl, after he had that terrible attempt on his life, his wife hired 3 master astrologers.
Wow. Interesting.
And she knew when he should do public appearances. And then somebody found out, some sort of person that didn't like him, and revealed it to the national news. And they tried to make him look like a joke.
Right.
And
right.
So, and then a lot of people don't know, for people who are in Europe, the beautiful queen mother of the queen, she's passed away now. She had her own royal astrologer, and that wonderful woman lived to be, what, 103 years old?
I think I did know that, Susie. And as a Canadian, the Queen is our queen too. We are a Commonwealth country, and so I'm a bit of a royal family junkie in terms of I've grown up with it, always been fascinated by it. So I believe that Princess Diana also had her own astrologer.
Did she? In fact, her astrologer, she told her, and I know it's just hearsay, that there was potential for
well, she knew that something was going to happen to her. That has been documented, right?
Right.
Anyways,
so I
got a new angle for you. Remind me after the show. You could solve mysteries with astrology. I love it.
They use it for even seismic activity in California.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So, and I'm using it for my soul, like I said.
Yeah, so. I had mentioned to Susie that I just recently found out that, so in terms of like someone with a mental health disorder, so like me, for example, I have anxiety panic disorder that was caused by the passing of my parents, and well, the passing of one parent and the onset of the passing of another, and it was just recently shared with me that I could look at my chart and see if I was to suffer abandonment issues. And the thought occurred to me, how interesting would that be in terms of if we knew that this information could be revealed to us in an astrology chart, how much time it would save people trying to figure out what actually is the problem and just focus in on how to assist ourselves with said problem, right? And so, like, I just recently found that out, and I happened to wonder to myself, like, how many other things could I find out from the chart? So I find all this fascinating. Everyone is fascinated by astrology, and everyone is subscribing. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely. All right, Susie.
Okay, well, first, Kelly asked me, about the energies this week.
Yeah.
And I would call it a mixed bag. And again, every sign is going to be different, and every, the transits and the aspects. But the good news is, and I think I did a little video on it, is Jupiter and Neptune, this is the good part, are meeting April 12th in Pisces. And the last time it happened, I was telling Kelly, was 1856. Now,
1856, that's just crazy to me.
It won't happen again in our lifetime. A lot of people are feeling, if you have anything at 21 degrees, 22 degrees, that's why when you said 22 about your numerology on the card, I was like, of course, because there's and 23 degrees, not just of Pisces, but if you have, like, my moon is going to be hit at 20, try to do a 3-degree orb. But what this is bringing in is hyper, I don't want to use, it's like hyper inflated spirituality.
Yeah.
But it can also bring addictions, delusion. Yeah. Everyone says, oh, like I said in my video, I was probably going to go to my favorite park that day and meditate. And that's what I'm going to do. But I want to premise that with, if you're prone to any type of behavior that could lead you astray or something, cults even can occur during this type of once in a lifetime transit. Yeah. The reason I mention that I'm into spirituality is in 1856, that's literally when seances, last time they met, came about, and a renewed interest. And you have to be careful so you don't open yourself up
to the negative energy.
And there's certain, signs and things that can have that happen, but you could also use it for good.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I were talking about, Kelly was saying she felt the Mars Saturn yesterday.
Yep.
This conjunction, it's bringing a lot of attention. The good news is they're separating.
Yeah.
And Venus is at 1 degree of Pisces. And so that's going to bring a lot of love energy. Beautiful. And then I had to write some notes, guys.
Okay, no, absolutely. So Doris Smith has said that Nancy Reagan was a huge believer in astrology. It was rumored she influenced President Reagan in his decision as president, and like you were saying about like where he would go and when it was okay for him to go out. Ivana Intuitive, I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Is this why I'm feeling really tired and then feeling really wired, caffeinated, and then back to tired? That's absolutely why you're feeling that way, Ivana. And that's what I was referring to in the beginning, that there's this like weird kind of energy. And you'll often hear it as you go through, different channels and different rooms. People referring to like retrograde and computer issues happening, right? And lots of readers will all be claiming the same thing is happening to them. And in the last 6 months, I don't know that I have ever felt some sort of way under a full moon or a new moon, except for the moon in Leo, which is, I'm like a sun Leo and a rising Leo. And I'm telling you, when that moon in Leo hit, I was like, what is happening to Kelly? And so I don't want to say now I'm a believer, but now I understand what the other readers were saying. I was like, oh my goodness. Like I literally felt like I had been hit by a car. So, I mean, I get it, right? Hi, Ron. So,
there's another thing I should mention, and this happened, I don't have the exact date because it's been a while, but in January, late January, early February, we switched, and I should have done a video on this, but I didn't. We switched into North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. And I want to tell you what that's about. And somebody in the chat may have that actually in their natal chart, but this is the collective. And has anybody noticed, like when you go shopping, there may be shortages and things like this? This is going on because Taurus is, if you think about it, it really will affect our resources, whether that's even gardening. It doesn't always have to be you buy something, our personal resources. And I wrote some notes on it, and forgive me, because yesterday when I was kind of jotting down some things, I actually woke up with a feeling like I forgot it all. But so I'm just going to tell you guys what I wrote.
Yeah.
With the Taurus and Scorpio axis, what could be triggered is our inner security. We can feel more emotional crises. We need to learn to control the energy. We need to learn to let go and move on. And just because that's Taurus and Scorpio axis, just because I can do that or you can do it doesn't mean you're not going to run in.
Of course.
Somebody that has an issue. And these times with this access is a great time to go back to nature, to also kind of prepare for a rainy day and finding your own set of values. And we must let go of anger and attachments to emotional drama. That's and trust in the abundance of the universe. I don't want to be
you literally just summed up how I've been feeling since Sunday. Well, literally. And Anna Banana said that she has been feeling like completely exhausted and unexplained anger. So you are totally hitting the nail on the head. And when I was talking to you backstage, this is what I said. I know that people are feeling some sort of way because I keep hearing it in different chats. So this is super, super informative, super important. This is I'm not saying don't listen to anything else Suzi says, but this specifically is like in this moment that we find ourselves in. This is super important to heed the advice that Suzi is giving us, right? As she said, like the card that I pulled, and I don't know where the heck the card is now, go out into nature, revitalize your nervous system by spending some time outside in the greenery, right? And if you have any kind of anger issues or things that you're dealing with, unexplained emotions, give it up to spirit. That's what this card said, right? To surrender to spirit, hand your situation over to the divine, and let go of your attachment to the outcome, right? So that you're not allowing yourself to react to a situation, right? You take the situation in, hand it over to spirit, and just go about your business. I realize easier said than done, but in this particular energy, it's almost like that would be easier to hand over to spirit than actually try to work through those emotions. That's what it feels like, what you're saying, right?
Right. And because the South Node, and we can get to that.
Yeah.
What North Node, South Node, all that means, is in Scorpio. Even feelings, and I'm not trying to just give you negative stuff, but I want to just completely put it out there, and everyone's going to be different.
Yeah.
It could lead to sexual addiction, too much generosity. Maybe you're the nicest person in the world, and because of these energies, you might say, I don't need to pay my car payment. I'm going to, buy the whole restaurant, meal. So it just kind of need to restrain.
Yeah, healthy boundaries.
And I would always, this is going to sound scary, but if you don't need at this time, for the next 18 months, still about 18 months, a surgery with South Node and Scorpio, unless it's absolutely necessary, I wouldn't mess with elective surgery.
Right. I gotcha. Okay.
So that's going on. It might have triggers of personal values. What are our personal values?
Yeah.
And it's really a time to let go. And I also want to mention, think back to where you guys were about 18 and a half years ago. And if you're
some of us, if we can remember,
because you were dealing then, because this is going to be, 18 more months, but it takes a whole cycle. 18 and a half years ago, roughly, we were going through North Node and Taurus, South Node and Scorpio. Not everyone's going to have a bad experience. I bought with my ex-husband, and I bought a beautiful home, and I was planting gardens.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be hit different.
That's really interesting. All of us are probably breaking out our pens and our paper trying to figure out what year it was and what were we doing. I'm literally sitting here going, I can't talk and count backwards, but I will. Oh, super interesting information, Susie. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
So does anyone, before we move on, does anyone have any questions about anything that's Jackie, sorry, I'm looking at Jackie's comment. If anyone has any questions about anything that Susie is talking about, or if you have any questions that you want Susie to talk about, throw them up in the chat, and we'll, I'm keeping my eye on the chat. Susie's giving us all this wonderful information. So feel free to post a question or a comment in the chat, and we'll make sure that we try to get to everyone. All right, what's next, Susie?
Okay. One of the ideas we had together was, like you had mentioned to me, it would be nice to maybe have some idea what might be coming your way in your life. And that's what I studied astrology for. And I think I have heard master astrologers, and I'm certainly just a student. So if anybody says, oh, that might not be correct, I'm open. I love to hear if I get something wrong. But I've been really studying the nodes. The North Node, to me, astrologers have said, if they just knew your nodes, they could say a lot about your life's purpose, your path, and also where literally things could go wrong. And the North Node is our purpose. The South Node is what we fell back on. And you don't have to believe in past lives. I'll explain that in a minute. But what we fell back on in many of our lives, it's what we're good at. And
so like a past behavior or something of that nature?
Genetic code.
Okay.
It could be even, some people will say, I think it's past lives, but even early years of your life. But in my opinion, like my South Node is in Cancer.
Right.
And I feel really comfortable creating a home and a loving environment. Yes. Being a mother to my son. There have been problems, but that's normal when you're divorced and things like this. Where I've never been good, my North Node is in Capricorn. And Capricorn, this is telling me that I need to be independent, not dependent. That's right. Emotional maturity. And I did all 6 accesses. And if you have any questions, my email, you can just email me and I can maybe help you find it, because besides the nodes itself, it depends on the houses. Like mine, Capricorn is in the 5th house, and 11, the 11th house is where, now I'm getting myself confused. But anyways, email me your questions if you want to find it in your chart. Right. So the South Node is what you're good at, and the North Node is where you need to go. Now there is free will. I'm not telling you guys if you don't want to pursue something that you fate is going to step in. But in my opinion, it will make you see your purpose in sort of a negative way. That South Node transits. Yep. And just
sorry, Susie, Anna Banana has a question here. I put it up on the screen. Will a midhaven at 24 degrees of Pisces be under stress at this time, especially with North Node right next to it?
Absolutely, because she's bam on. I mean, because I would use a 3 degrees, she's going to be it could be the most amazing. Actually, I kind of envy you in a way, because that could be just like a spiritual awakening.
Right.
I'm not saying you're not, but it could be almost a once in a lifetime experience. But then again, it could also bring some, Neptunian fog and that type of thing. So yeah,
super interesting.
I'll let you ask a question, because I was going to say, she's talking about the Jupiter Neptune great conjunction, but with the North Node and South Node, everybody in their chart, transits of the North Node, planets hitting the North Node, is where the celestial tide is coming in, and the South Node celestial tide is going out. That means you can have a loss in the South Node of a job or a loved one. I wrote it all down for all the accesses if you want to get into specifics.
Right. That's super interesting. So, the celestial tide that you spoke of, can you just really, really quickly, well, I don't know how quick you can explain it, but can you just briefly explain what is a celestial tide? Is that like the moving in and out as things are shifting? Is that what that is?
Yes, with the transits. And I should have stated, they call the North Node the dragon's head.
Okay.
And the South Node the tail of the dragon. And in ancient times, when people are looking at the sky during eclipse season, which eclipses were like to them an omen,
right?
It looks like the dragon is like eating its tail. So they have this
chasing its tail like my cat.
And so I practice Western, but I learned a little Vedic. It's Rahu and Ketu. And I'm sorry, what was your question?
No. I was talking about the celestial tide. I am fascinated. You could go on forever. We're just all sitting here listening to you. No pressure.
Okay, I'll give you an example. If say you have the air, I wrote it down, and forgive me because my mind wanders.
No.
If you have the Aries Libra axis, and like I said, you can email me if you need help finding that, and it's going to flict. It's a plane, those 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay, Aries Libra axis. In this lifetime, you're going to have lessons about valuing others.
Yeah.
Selflessness versus self-centeredness, developing self-trust.
Right.
Now, if your North Node is in Aries, you need to seek to be independent. You need to take action in your life.
Right.
Decisiveness. These people will, North Node in Aries, it's telling you to be like an Aries. They will want to lean into the Libra, partnerships and people. But by following others, it can be their undoing. And so what that's all saying is, if you have that access, which is the North Node in Aries, you need to learn to be self-reliant for your soul's journey. Karmic debts that can be triggered, that celestial tide, that's going out of that tail. Think of the dragon.
Okay. Yep.
I'm not trying to be gross, but
yeah. Okay. No.
Relationship loss. You might lose partnerships and marriages. Some people, I want to recommend Judith Hill, the master astrologer. She does, this isn't medical advice, but she even warns people with their North Node in Aries that physical exertion is important for just your body.
Yeah, of course.
Now, because that's an access. If your North Node is in Libra, you need to work on diplomacy. You need to work with beauty, elegance, poise. You need to listen to others, apply fair judgment, and you would do well with partnerships. So I could go on and on because we've got 6 of these, and I don't know the time. Okay.
No, you're fine. I want to say hi to Oil Painter, and of course Dr. Gail Skywalking with Moon that have joined us. Thank you so much for being here. Oil Painter is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady who is all about astrology, and I think that Oil Painter should email me, and then I can forward Oil Painter's email to you, and you two can discuss, talk, whatever. Because the astrology, I went into an astrology class, and Oil Painter is one of the presenters, and so I think you all could be very, very happy in the same space together, if you know what I'm saying, because you speak the same language, right?
I would love that.
Yeah,
that'd be wonderful. Awesome. Nice to meet you.
and so Oil Painter says, hello and got it, and I'm a Gemini as well. She wants you to know.
Okay. Yeah, excellent.
She also says, very quickly, guaranteed what you had said previously, and that her north is in Aries opposite her south, and her rising. So her south node and her rising are opposite the north, which is in Aries.
Now, did she say her south node is in Aries?
No, her north is in Aries.
Okay. So basically, just what we talked about, she would be best if she took action, decisiveness, self-reliance, independence. I'm not saying her specifically, but these people can be easily just go along with the crowd, and that doesn't benefit them.
Right.
I know this isn't her, but if your south node, if your north node is in Libra, it gets confusing. That's why it's all in my head.
Okay. You're doing fine, love. You're doing fine.
If your south node is in Aries, you may be too impulsive. You may have a bad temper.
Yep.
Thoughtless outbursts.
Right.
You need to think first. South node, remember, that's where we can kind of get the icky stuff. These people should always wear Aries head. If you think about that, your south node in Aries, a bicycle helmet. They should not take high risk with sports. I mean, find a different sport. Don't go Indy 500 auto racing.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Statistically, surprisingly, master astrologers, they collect data. And this stuff over time, they see, okay, these people, it's like, guess which sign in the zodiac statistically lives the longest? Just random.
Well, that's an interesting thing for everyone in the chat. If we can guess statistically which zodiac signs live the longest.
And that will
know, Susie, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Oil Painter says that yes, that's the story of her life. So she.
Wow. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Rising sign or sun sign? I wouldn't consider this your moon on this. Like who?
Yeah, I'm thinking that it might be like either a Virgo, because they're very ahead of themselves in terms of like very strategic and analytical and, always like one step in front of themselves. Or maybe a Capricorn. And the reason I say Capricorn is because they're just, they seem to navigate really easily through friends and people and their negotiations, their contacts, right? Like they seem to like know exactly who to sort of, I don't want to say hook up. That sounds wrong. That's a whole other show, friends. But like, who they attach themselves to. I'm probably totally wrong. So
no, really, you know what? I
guesses. We've got Cancer, Leo or Cancer. We've got Sagittarius. Anybody else want to throw in a guess before? And another Capricorn. I almost need a drum roll. No.
I was surprised too, and now it makes more sense to me.
Right.
Statistically, over many, many, many decades of tracking death statistics, it's Taurus. And the reason is Taurus rules the body and the ground to nature. You were talking about when you drew cards.
Yeah.
This is all about being sort of like literally the salt of the earth.
Right.
These people are fixed, and they get a bad reputation. Oh, they're stubborn. They won't change, but they like their stability. It's good for their mental health.
Right. Which is great. When your mental health is top notch. And we all know the kind of like little saying, like, strong like bull, right? When it comes to the ram of Taurus, right?
The bull, yeah.
Right. I sort of feel like when you think of the image of like a ram or a bull just kind of standing there, high atop the mountain, just kind of like gazing out, sort of like, I want to say surveying everything, right? And when you said salt of the earth, that's what made me think of it. Like literally standing on a mountaintop, just kind of like looking around, going, okay, I'm taking this all in. So if all the rest of us are below that and Taurus is at the top, sort of surveying, that makes sense to me. In my mind, that's how I equate what you just said. There you have it, folks.
Yeah,
how Kelly's mind works.
No, that's excellent, because at first I was like, really? Nothing. I love Taurus. But I'm just saying, okay, because I was thinking like the Virgo and Capricorn. Yeah. Okay, so anybody, we said the collective were in the Taurus, North Node, South Node is Scorpio, but now this will apply if this is literally in your natal chart. If your North Node is in Taurus, you need, for your soul's growth, to develop a love of natural earth. You're just going to do better. You need, what we talked about, to trust the abundance of the universe.
Yeah.
You need to provide security for yourself. You need to find your own set of values, not mine, not Kelly's, your own set of values. You need to let go of anger. And we talked about letting go of attachments. Now, what if Scorpio is your North Node? This is learning about, in your soul's journey, about emotional independence, self-discipline, not to become possessive of belongings, even, not to be, you need to really embrace loving people and try to find an attunement to the
I'm trying to find my chart.
Well,
I have my chart screenshot on my phone. That's what I was trying to do. I'm trying to find my chart so I can.
Okay, the sim. Do you want me to draw the symbols for you?
No. I know them all. Luckily, I know them all. I just, in case one of my things is where we're talking about, I was like, I should probably know. And this is an important thing to mention. So if you don't know how to find your natal chart, there's several sites that you can go to. The one that I went to is it astro.com?
Yeah, and the astro.com, AstroDienst, and astroseek.com. I love them both. Astroseek.com, you can even see if a planet is by Regulus or something.
Cool.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So you go into those sites. So astro.com, literally astro.com, and you put in like your name and your birth day, and they want to know the time that you were born. So Susie's going to confirm this. I have been told that if you don't know the time that you were born, to put in 12 noon, that's like an okay time to put in. No?
I thought that too. And
Okay.
the more I've been studying and taking some classes, the ascendant, you would think when I got into astrology, I thought, oh, the ascendant will be there for several hours. It could change like every 2 hours. But if you know an astrologer or somebody's way into astrology, I wouldn't recommend me. It's a talent. It's an art form. They can rectify it. Anastasia, cosmic astrologer, she does this and she's a master. So somebody like her, you can get a rectified chart. The only thing you lose, say, obviously, your day, your city, where you're born. That's going to tell you your sun sign and your moon sign. Like today, when we're Gemini moon communication. It's going to tell you that the ascendant is what's rising on the eastern horizon. I'm a Virgo rising. And people tell me you can actually look at people and you're Leo. I was complimenting your beautiful hair.
I'm all about the hair. So it's interesting. Thank you for saying that. Oil Painter has my chart because I'm in that astrology class. So I was looking to see where my north node was and where my south node was to Oil Painter. She's gonna pop it in the chat there if you don't mind, Oil Painter. Sorry, go on. With that part of the conversation, that's really interesting. So you were just mentioning about Leo. So lots of people are typing all kinds of things in the chat. Just real quick. So Marie Henson says, I'm a Leo sun, moon, and a Libra rising. My nodes are Gemini and Sagittarius.
Let me answer that one. And I want to recommend something.
Yeah, go for it.
I apologize. This book, this person, Judith Hill, I always say so-and-so is a master astrologer.
Right.
She is so gifted and talented. She's been doing astrology for 40, 50 years. She looks really good. Nothing against, being in something that long. She has all the data. She even can talk about some of her personal clients that gave her permission.
Yeah.
And this book, I think it was about $22. It is, to me, worth every penny. It's called Lunar Nodes, Your Key to Excellent Chart Interpretation, just for lunar nodes. This isn't going to cover reading your natal chart. And I am going to try to get to that. I finally got on my own channel some software where I can film my screen. I didn't know how to do that. And my subscribers, love you guys, have been patient because we've talked about, or I've shared, but we're going to be able to break down our own.
Right.
So I'm going to be working on that this weekend, but written and illustrated by Judith Hill. But I didn't forget the question. Gemini Sag. This one, this is about freedom, the axis. Gemini Sagittarius, freedom and commitments, communication with others, recognizing limits to expansion. Now, remember, the houses are going to be very important, but if your north node is in Gemini, you need to learn how to focus yourself, communicate clearly, not undertaking too much. You really need to do self-care. And you need to learn, I'm not saying she does this, bad or good. This is general. Honor your responsibilities. Now, if your north node is in Sagittarius and your south node is in Gemini, in youth, you might have had a difficult time finding your path. The goal is here to focus. This was interested me when I was learning about this particular axis on one thing. You don't have to be a multitasker because with this, you need to, you can be easily distracted, and these people will really thrive finding a spiritual path.
Beautiful.
So that's that.
Marie says because that's who we're talking about. Marie says, I am ADHD and yes, learning to better care for me more.
It's amazing, isn't it? And I'll just try to wrap this up really quick. And again, back to North Node in Gemini, you could benefit by developing hidden talents, ideas, and those communication skills. This is North Node in Gemini. Yep. Writing and speaking may prove successful. You are gifted with reading, writing, and learning languages, but don't follow group think. Be wary of organizations that just try to make you have group think. Now, if it's the North Node in Sagittarius, travel is good. Did she say she's the North Node in Sagittarius?
Let me go back.
Or I got a mix because what I'm telling her.
I just so thank you, Oil Painter. So my North Node is in Gemini, so I'm taking all this in.
Okay, so she if her North Node is in Gemini,
yeah,
just learning languages. Don't follow group think, and they really stress that.
Yeah.
You might have to be wary of anything organized, because these people can be prone. I'm not saying you to even.
No, it honestly, forgive me because there's lots of people in the chat, but I honestly feel like you're just talking to me, because that is exactly what I said to you before we went live. That's how I'm feeling.
You're very intuitive. I sense that about you. So we can find out. We will find out.
Yeah. I want to say this. I love this. Andrea says that, hi, Andrea, by the way, I don't even know if I said hello to you. I apologize. I'm so fascinated by this conversation. Andrea says, my astrology friends send me red flags when my chart has warnings for me, which is beautiful.
I feel that way. Some people, if you were, which I'm not, say somebody's a professional astrologer, they have to be very careful, ethical, which I'm an ethical person, but I'm going to tell my loved one or my friend that I see something. I wouldn't, like I told my son, be careful of your tendons. A week after that, he had massive spasms from athletics. Wow. I mean, he so I have to give the warning. So I think her friends are wonderful for doing that. Some people,
some people don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other people believe that, forewarned is forearmed, that whole thing. And I just want to quickly say thank you, Oil Painter, for doing that. That's very kind of you. So I'm in an astrology class with her, as I mentioned, and she's got my chart in front of her. So I have my own assistant in the astrology department. I love it. Thank you so much. Marie and I share a lot of the same kind of astrology and the same. Yes, thank you. That's the word. The same kind of placement. So that's interesting. Hi, Jay. I didn't know you were in here, love. So I think that this, as we mentioned, I just want to quickly recap to everyone. So this negative kind of heavy, kind of stuck in the mud kind of energy that most of us are feeling right now. If you didn't hear what Suzi said, do go back to the beginning of the video because she did cover it. We pulled just 3 cards real quick because I know that people are feeling it, and I wanted to do my part, right? So green, which is revitalizing your nervous system, going outside, spending some time in nature, right? Yeah. Put your feet in the soil, grab the bark of the tree, pretend you're a sunflower was the analogy that I used, right? Tilt your head up as the sunflower does when it soaks in all that wonderful love and power from the sun. And then I pulled this card, which that kind of freaked me out. Experience the passion of fire, which is reigniting your life force by gazing into a cozy fire, recharging in the sunlight, or lighting a candle. Allow fire to spark your vision and vitality. And then we pulled from one of our angel decks here, and this is surrendering to spirit. Hand your situation over to the divine and let go of your attachment to the outcome, which is a master number of 22. And the only reason why I'm repeating that is because this is a lot of information, right? And I don't want anyone to walk away and go like, oh my God, that was so much, I'm confused. I want you to remember this isn't going to solve your problems, but it's certainly going to help you as you navigate this tricky energy, right? Oil Painter says, love to know. Very important. Don't get enough publicity. Thank you, Suzi, for covering this.
Oh, thank you for listening. And do we still have time to do a Cancer Capricorn? Just some
Of
key
course,
points.
absolutely, love. Yeah.
Okay. I won't go into lengthy. Cancer Capricorn access, and that's what I have, is all about duty, responsibility, obligations. These people, including myself, are going to struggle between family versus career, nurturing both of those things. It doesn't mean, like in my case, that I can't be a mom, but I should also be a business person, North Node and Capricorn, and then the opposite. I'll get to that. And honesty is important. And we kind of talked about a little bit of that prior to coming on. So let's start with not what I have. Let's start with North Node and Cancer. Learning to extend love and nurturing to yourself as well as others. Experience love through family and friends. Gaining awareness that you may not be able to oversee everyone. So that's North. I'm going to try to spell like North Node in Cancer, North Node in Capricorn. Ding, ding, ding. I can drain people with emotional problems. That has been true in my life.
Yeah.
But now I'm on a spiritual journey. I don't feel, but I need to be aware of it. I have a hard time letting go of dependency. Hence, I'm not going to go into crypto, but I'm an investor now in cryptocurrency and also stocks, because for me, I need to be independent, take care of myself.
Right.
I need to be a little bit more emotionally mature. Yes.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but
sure. No, go ahead. It's your channel.
This it isn't about astrology, but I do want to say this, right? Because that point right there, I hate to think that anyone blames themselves or puts any kind of extra pressure on themselves when they're already feeling low in emotions, right? Because you've been through stuff. That's why it may be viewed as you need to increase your maturity in how you deal or how you see the emotional spectrum, right? It's because you've been through stuff, and that's hard.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hard. And we're all about trying to encourage people when the moment comes for you to accept the change, that when the aha moment, when the light bulb comes, whatever way you want to phrase it, it's the getting there part that is most difficult, right? It's the getting to that point where the light bulb goes on and you're like, oh, right, that's what I need to do. It's that traveling time between, oh, I feel just some sort of way, and then to getting to the aha moment. Just be kind to yourself is really what I wanted to say, right? Just be kind.
I love that. Yeah.
It's hard work, friends. It is hard work.
I wouldn't want it any other way, though, now looking back, because I wouldn't have evolved into, I think, a kinder person, this type thing for me.
I love that. That was well said, my friend. And I love that you just said that, because that right there is a sign to everyone that they too can have that kind of experience, right? That they can be feeling one way, and by investing time and energy into any kind of practice, really, of self-love and self-care, that they can navigate those tricky steps and get themselves to a point where now they're on the other side of it. I have a little mantra, I guess you could say it, that I have on my board here, and I love it. It sort of reminds me of what you just said. What you have now was once what you only hoped to have.
That's beautiful. That's. Can you say it one more time?
Yep. So what you have now is what you once only hoped to have.
Oh, that's
and that totally. When you said that, I'm like, that's what that is, right? So I think it's important to stop and celebrate the fact I'm so proud of you. I mean, I barely know you, but I'm proud for you and proud of you for getting to that point, because standing on the other side of it is it not a beautiful thing? Right, that you're like, woohoo, I can do anything. I mean, when you have that feeling that, like, here I come, I'm ready, it's just such an amazing feeling. And my other one that I love to say is this: show the world your sparkle, my friend, because the world deserves to see it, and you deserve for the world to see it. So shine on, Susie.
Bless you. Kelly, can you pull a card, because I got to grab my
yes.
Oh, I got to grab my battery. Oh, you can't hear me?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'll pull a card.
My battery said out of the blue, and I charged it low. So maybe pull a card, I'll grab it, plug it in, and then we can do the last we could do Leo, Aquarius, and Virgo and Pisces. If that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I freaking okay, it came up again. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
It's all good. It's all good. Uh-oh. Susie hopefully will be back to join us in a moment. All right. So I'm going to pull another card, as per requested by Susie. This is so interesting. Honestly, I feel like Susie could come back every day of the week for the next 2 months, and we still wouldn't know everything that we feel that we even need to know just to get by, to understand, right? She'll be back, hopefully. Ooh, look at that, friends. We've got purple, developmental clarity. I mean, to me, this is what it's all about, right? It's about developing your mental clarity, developing the understanding of who you are, why you do what you do, why you feel the way that you do, why do people feel the way that they do about you, how you navigate things, right? Your general understanding. It's a beautiful card. It's very deep, in my opinion. There's so much to unpack in this card. Just look at that. What a beautiful card. Purple, developmental clarity. Love it. And she's back.
I apologize.
No worries.
I'm glad I said something, because I wouldn't have wanted you to think.
No.
Okay,
please.
I apologize. I didn't mean to.
You're fine, my love. You're fine. Everything's fine. We're all still here waiting for you, so it's all good.
Thank you, guys.
Go for it.
Okay, let's talk about Leo Aquarius access. This is all about pride, leadership, developing a humanitarian spirit, uniqueness, being independent, and being a leader. And if your North Node is in Leo, you need to develop a sense of self without a big ego, okay, egotism, but being also open to leadership. It says strong principles of independence and fairness, can literally help you change society. This is actually, a lot of times we hear ego and it kind of is like, ooh, offensive or a trigger, but it's basically telling anybody with North Node in Leo, you can help the whole collective, the whole globe, and you're a leader. So it's a wonderful thing.
It absolutely is. I have to tell you that speaking to that point, now my North Node is not in Leo, but I am a Leo sun sign. And oftentimes when I say to people that I'm a Leo, this is not really currently, this is more like going back in my teenage years. I am often, like, you're one of those people that's like, hi, I'm here. And I'm like, I'm not like that at all. I think that people think of any sign that's like, a leader kind of personality that somehow, there's all that judgment and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you bring up the ego thing, because as I told you backstage, I want to talk about ego, but I'm not quite ready to do it yet. I'm still working on it. But I did do this. I looked up the definition of the word ego, and I was quite surprised. I think having a healthy ego is important for everyone. It is your self-esteem. That's what ego is. It's when your ego starts to get a little negative or a little wonky, where you start comparing yourself to other people and finding issue, finding judgment, kind of creeping up, in those kinds of moments that you have a bit of a problem, or potentially could have a problem that you need to sort of, go within and investigate.
That's amazing, Kelly. I love that.
Oh, thank you. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Oh, no.
I do think it's interesting, and I would love. I'm just putting it out there because I know that we're way past our time, and I'm totally fine with it. You could stay here all week and talk.
I can really speed it
up. But
up.
I want to say this to you, Susie. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would love for you to come back and talk to us about just the individual sun signs.
Oh, sure.
And some of those synchronicities, and well, not synchronicities, totally wrong word. Those characteristics, and then we could go through like other stuff, or maybe what the houses mean. I would love it if you could come back. You are just like awesome. I just love you. So, sorry, I didn't mean to go on.
No, I would love to, because I've enjoyed this. You made me feel at ease, but I'll hurry because I didn't want to keep it too much longer.
No, you're fine, love. You're fine.
Okay, if your North Node is in Aquarius, it says you may feel the need to dominate. Again, that's a trigger word, but that's what you may feel, need to dominate.
Yeah.
You can have a affinity or a fondness for being in the right circles, and this is just what generalizations. I'm not saying if you have North Node in Aquarius that this is who you are, but it can manifest, like my immaturity I talked about. Okay. You need to allow space for the opinion of others, okay, while being part of that group for the greater benefit. See, again, it's really, if you think about Aquarius in general, the humanitarian. So you need to be a part of the group, but for the benefit of all, not just yourself. Right. And you need to also set personal pride aside. So North Node in Aquarius has a tendency that they feel like it says okay, this is I'm not even going to say that what I feel, it's too triggering. But okay, I'll tell you the upside to North Node in Aquarius, which is, it says, find a world encompassing ideal and do that for the benefit of others. It shouldn't be to say, look, I'm here and I did this. And that's not offense to anybody. It's just the soul's path.
Yeah.
So that's a rough one.
Well, you know what? I don't think that any of these things are rough or triggering, but I understand why you're saying that, because certain things do trigger people if it's taken out of context or they don't understand the context. Like if someone just popped in and just heard that, they might take that out of the context, right? Like,
right. Yeah, because these people are so powerful, they can enlighten humanity.
Exactly.
That's the difference, is you have to kind of look at why you're on that journey. Exactly. I'm going to kind of hurry up because I know I have more stuff on that. Okay, Virgo Pisces axis. This is all about compassion, healing, discrimination, flexibility, and their issues are going to about being a victim or a martyr. So if your North Node is in Pisces, you need to learn to set boundaries. These people will also have compassion, but they can easily be overwhelmed. And they also need to care for their body. Very, very important. And North Node in Virgo, you need to be flexible. Trust the bounty of life. Stop worrying. Stop making judgments, or you can become the victim. And I have a lot more to say, but I see I've kind of run over, but I would love to come back and we can talk about lots of things. Sure.
I adore you. You are welcome anytime, my friend. We have so many wonderful comments that have been going on in the chat. I just want to read a few to you. Oil Painter and Marie are having a full-on conversation, and I love, because as I said, Marie is a lot of her astrology chart is similar to mine. So Marie has said that I was the shy Leo, still am, just more assertive now. And then Oil Painter, and I flashed this up on the screen, and this is something that Oil Painter said in the astrology class that we were in, which I just think is interesting to me, because it helped me to understand myself a little bit better as to why do I do a certain thing a certain way, right? So taking into consideration Marie's comment about I was a shy Leo, I'm not, in my mind, I'm not the kind of person that shows up and goes, hey, I'm here taking over, everybody else watch it. I don't think I do that. No, but I can walk into a room and people
have confidence, right?
Navigate. So actually, I don't have any confidence, but people, I portray that I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And people sort of navigate towards me because of that. I can lead or I can follow it. It's really up to the situation, right? But I find for myself, if it's a situation about someone that I care about, someone who is not well, someone I feel like they can't look after themselves, that is when I'm here, I'm taking over, because I want to help that person and, like, be their advocate kind of idea.
Yeah.
That's the only time when I feel like I'm really standing in my own power, and I'm kind of a bully about it, because I don't like to see anyone being taken advantage of or pushed around or whatever the case may be. But that comes from, I used to work in a group home for developmentally challenged individuals who are all nonverbal. And so that kind of embracement, I used to always think came from that experience, right? That because I constantly was having to protect them and speak up for them because people treated them horribly. Whole other story. So Marie Henson, this is from Oil Painter, at Marie Henson, and that is the hardest part for Leo, because the heart is behind the breast of Cancer. So the heart of Leo is literally standing behind the breast of Cancer, which means that Leo's like, hello, we're over here. And that's why people view us as the, hi, I'm here, which is really, really interesting to me. When
that's fascinating.
Right?
Good clarity.
What else have we got here? Sorry, I'm skipping. Anna Banana says you're not supposed to expose me like that. Ha ha ha! Laugh out loud when you're talking about Virgo. Hi Jean Hygiene Genie. Oh, it doesn't? Well, if someone could put, I don't know why it doesn't work. Anna, can you stick Suzi's link in there for me?
Thank you.
What else have we got here? Leo is controlled by the sun and Cancer is controlled by the moon, which that's just a really interesting sort of. Oh, sorry. When you were talking about Pisces, she was like, you weren't supposed to out her like that. The moon and the sun being opposite of each other.
Right. The moon is our emotions, and the sun is more our personality. If you just want to get to the base, I have a Capricorn moon, and
right.
I've been told by a master astrologer, that's very famous.
Right.
It's not like my best friend or something.
Right.
Said I'm oppressed emotionally. Whoa, I have to sit with it. Didn't you know? I can see what a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? I wanna just say this again. You know, working on ourselves is hard work, but having information that you know I am personally learning that we can gain from astrology and from our astrological charts saves an awful lot of time of doing the investigating within ourselves to find said problem that maybe we're not actually aware of, if that makes sense, to then be able to, you know, take a deep dive and start doing the work, which I just think is fantastic.
You are 100% correct. And also, a lot of times people will say, I can't afford $2,000 in classes or something. I myself am not very financially well off, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Right.
But I want to recommend, if any, and I think I mentioned this in Scott Scorpio Moon, the Facebook group, a long time ago. This book, I think it's about $21. They shipped it to me from England, Astrology Decoded, Sue Merlin Fairbrother.
Beautiful.
You'll never need anything else. Just your read this, and then maybe take a class or two like I'm doing. I'm not going to pay $8,000 to an astrology school when I could learn a lot on my own.
Right.
And down the road, who knows? So I just I can't say enough about this book. And this was recommended by Steve Judd, astrologer, master astrologer who lives in England.
Beautiful. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the name of that book and I'm going to stick it down in the description box. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for hanging out with us, for showing Suzi some love. She is a wealth of information. And I do want to say it's difficult to ask anyone who is an astrology person to come on here and be like, okay, talk to us, and not have it sound like, oh my God, what? So everyone be very kind to Suzi. She came on here and did a fantastic job. Her channel is there. Show her some love. Subscribe to her if you're not already. Suzi's going to come back and we'll do some more and we'll have some more conversations and it will be fantastic. And I'm also going to put you in touch with an oil painter because I think that you guys would benefit from knowing each other. So thank you so much, Suzi. By the way, before I let you go, do you have anything that is going on your channel, or are you going anywhere to do another live that you want to talk about?
Most of my subscribers now, I try to put out about a video a week, and I'm going to be putting one out probably this coming Sunday. So this has gotten me to think a lot about a lot of ideas. So
awesome. So don't go anywhere, Suzi.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for participating. Keep doing what you do, because what you do by participating, sharing, saying hello to someone can make all the difference in the world. So don't forget that you're phenomenal people, and the support that you offer each other and the new people that pop in and out of this community. You literally can change someone's day or someone's week or someone's life. So please don't ever stop being those support systems to other people. It's very, very important. what am I doing? Tomorrow night, I'll be back on Circle of Friends Tarot, which is the channel that I do with Allie at 7 p.m. Sherry H will be up on our open mic night. And then Friday, of course, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be back here for Think Spirit. It's Friday, where we do a collective general read for what's happening for the weekend, throw some adult funny cards around. And Sonia Rain Lee is my guest this Friday. So, and then, of course, on Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Not that I expect everyone to remember these things. Sonia will be here on Friday, like I said, and then on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, Pure Visionary Psychic Medium will be here. So watch for all the notifications. Many, many blessings to you guys. Try to enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. And don't forget, go out in nature, right? Develop mental clarity. The nature will do that for you. Allow yourself to experience the passion of fire by staring into a fire, staring into the, soaking up the energy of the sun, a candle, those types of energies, and giving over your situation to the divine, right? Letting go of the attachment to the outcome. That may help you navigate some of this tricky energy that we're in. Thank you so much, Susie. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Love you guys.
Many blessings.
Brightest blessings, absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Kelly.